What are we doing out here today, Tim?
I don't know. What do we got here?
Oh, we got ourselves a Talon. A Talon.
This thing, Daniel?
Putting a new roll cage on it.
Man. You gonna send it next year?
Oh yeah.
Always sending it.
All right.
Oh yeah.
What kind of cage you got going on this thing?
Brick City Fab.
Okay, I've heard good things.
So, we'll see what this brings.
Yeah, so we're going to be doing some time lapses. We're going to be cutting in from time to time. So we're going to be doing a full cage on this thing, and we're getting it ready to send her next year. So. All right, guys, so we got it in here. About to rip this cage off, all the stock accessories, and you'll see that on time lapse. So this wire is pretty long. Are you going to put these back in the similar spots?
Kind of. I'm not gonna. These I can unmount, and this all my wires peel back into
Right.
the tube.
As you seen on the video, we got the cage off. Now, it's got a light bar, it's got a roof, it's got a net, it's got some mounts back there on the back corners, and it weighs 70 pounds. I would say that's pretty light for a cage. So, I would think that this Brick City Fab weighs a whole lot more, and that's a good thing. Here's the Brick City Fab cage. Obviously, it's already out of the box. A little bit of rust is on it because it got wet on its way over here. So we're going to go ahead and cut that open. So it's a pre-bent, pre-notched cage. Basically put together, plumb up, and then weld it together. Nice, there's some bungs. Remember some big, heavy, beefy ones. Well, to you, it looks like just a bunch of pieces. To me, it looks like a puzzle. So, there you have it. Brick City Fab.
So the nut and bolt have a certain size they go on?
The bolt goes on the outside. Alright guys, so we got all the bungs bolted to the frame, tightened down, snugged up, lined up. Basically ready to start laying these pieces out and try to figure out where they go. So we get a game plan together here. Alright guys, so we're just trying to get all this mocked up and lined up. A few things didn't make sense, but I think we're getting there. Been piecing this stuff together, as you guys can see, but what we've noticed and we've been struggling with is trying to get things to line up. Like that bend right there on that harness bar is longer than that bend. That bend is sharper, so it swoops up faster than that. So that being said, this measurement from here to here is different from this measurement from here to here, those two measurements. So to get this bar level, to make it look right, one side had to go up and the other side had to go down to get it level across here. Now, we might have bumped it since we've been putting this together, but we have marks on it to know where every piece goes before it gets welded. But now that bend, I think, is off, one is sharper than the other, it's close to the body in that corner, and it's got a finger gap there. Now, it's going to make it to where that bar and that bar, one has a finger gap, and one's going to have less over here, which then there's upright bars here and here that are not shown yet, which is going to make one want to be in another spot than the other. So I don't know. If you go on their website, the cage that they sell to the cage that they sell as a DIY, like if you buy a whole cage, the harness bar is different. It's bent down right there, and it's got a flat bar that gets welded in. So there's a few things different. I don't know. I'm sure it'll look fine and it'll do its job. But these are things that we've been struggling to figure out, you know, and then with no directions, and the pictures that are online are not necessarily the same cage. You can find pictures of this cage on a machine, but you can't get like detailed pictures of like every bar. Some of them are numbered, like they all seem like 2 bars are numbered 1, 2 bars are numbered 3, you know, different things like that. But obviously we can put the puzzle together, but without directions and some bars being off. And I did adjust a couple notches. I think the notches could be better. We're about ready to start tacking it together and going for it. Alright guys, so everything is heavily tacked in. I think we're at the point where we can take the cage off and finish weld it. We had some GoPro failures, SIM cards running out of space, or memory cards I mean, and lots of batteries going dead. But the challenge is just trying to correct their notches and equally get everything measured out to where everything is uniform. But everything officially is on the cage and in its spots. Just tack welded. But it's gonna be a nice strong cage. Wish they would have done things a little bit different, maybe gave some directions. You can see they numbered some pipes, you know, but didn't really go crazy. Like some had round circles where things had to line up. Got a nice little like bumper back here. If they would have just took a little bit more time, I think it's a really good cage, and no matter what, it's going to be a strong cage and it's going to do just fine. But it takes some figuring out, you know. That's their job, to do the figuring out. But after adjusting some of their notches and pulling stuff together, it's really starting to come together. So I went ahead and put lines on here and mark some stuff up. These were different lines from where I moved this to get an equal measurement. You know, you can always take and go from your factory frame. These two bolts are always going to be in the same spot. Same thing here, back there. I just took a measurement from the center of that bolt up to this point, you know, all the way around, and kept moving it around. But it'll be a nice strong cage. He should be able to send it pretty hard next year. Alright guys, sorry the heat's rolling. Cage is back off. And let me just tell you, you've probably seen it in the other cameras. This sucker's heavy. I'm gonna put, how much did your other one weigh?
70.
So your other one weighed 70. I'm gonna say this one weighs 125. 115 maybe. What you thinking?
I'll say 110.
All right. We'll get this scale rolling. Now, you got to remember, the other cage had a roof. The other cage had light bar brackets, pod mounts, you know, all kinds of stuff still on it. This one does not, but I will say that it was a lot heavier. Alright guys, that was right on. Just joking, I had my hands on it. It's actually lighter than I thought it was. It's about 100 pounds. It keeps bouncing around and moving, but it's about right at 100 pounds. So Daniel was the closest, but hey, I was just being generous. But the more it moves around, it's still swinging. And it's not touching anything at the moment, but you can see 99, 100. Well, there you have it. Now we're gonna try to finish weld this thing. she's in. So I'm thinking maybe we'll have it back in a week. The guy's about, I don't know, 25 miles from me. So I'm gonna run it out there now, and hopefully by the weekend he's got it done for us. Last time you're gonna see it all took apart. Just got back from